self and have some staff and some of our event team and local teams introduce themselves. I'm Zinnia Willits. I'm the executive director of the Southeastern Museums Conference, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you today. And we're expecting, so far we're over 500 for registration this year, so it's going to be a great conference. But we just always do one of these sessions for those who may be new to SEMC or even if you haven't been to Montgomery before or whatever we may need to address, just to get you prepared and feeling comfortable about where you're going in a few weeks. So how about Carla and Heather? Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hey, everyone.
Sure.
Go ahead,
Go
Carla.
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I'll
you.
go.
Okay.
Okay, I am Carla Phillips. I am the membership and communications manager. So I am the person, if you have any questions about membership, you can contact me. I do social media. If you have, things at your institution that you would like us to help promote, you can send me that information as well. Now I'll throw it to Heather.
Hey, everyone. My name is Heather Nowak. I'm the program administrator for SEMC, and I have the fun job of working with our program committee who reviews and selects the sessions and workshops that go into our annual meeting program. So we do our best to ensure we have the most well-rounded and inclusive program for everyone. In addition to that, I handle virtual programming and other in-shop or in-house workshops and programming. So thanks for joining us today. We're happy you're here.
Thanks, guys. And Heather and Carla will be front and center at registration throughout the conference at the Renaissance. And so you'll see a lot of all of us running around and making sure that everybody has what they need. One of the things that SEMC does do as well is we work with an event company, event planning company called Hutchinson Design Group, which is out of the DC area. And we have two representatives today from Hutchinson Design. And I just wanted Oliver and Misha to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Oliver Vanoskis, working out of the DC office. I'm an event professional, just Hutchinson Design Group, here to help in any way possible. Just give me a holler if you need anything. We do work closely with John and Kyle, CEO and president of this team. So, yeah, either way, happy to be here. Nice to meet you all.
Thanks, Oliver.
Hi, I'm Misha Patterson. Like Oliver said, we typically work really closely with John and Cal. We are here to help you guys. Whatever question you may have, we are here to help. If we don't know have the answer to it, we'll definitely find the answer to it. I typically focus on transportation, and I'll be in registration also. So just give us. You see, we be walking around with our shirts on, so just let us know if you need anything.
Thanks, guys. This team is going to be everywhere throughout the conference, helping us getting all of the AV set in the session rooms, all of the different food events, making sure people know where to go for buses, for registration, just general conference support. And I will just say very clearly, we could not do this without the great team from Hutchinson Design Group. So theirs is what, the sixth year maybe that they've been helping us with the SEMC conference. And I just want to give that shout. Now before I turn it over to Aquan Robinson, I just also want to say sincere condolences to everybody in Montgomery. It was a rough weekend in the city. And we're living in difficult times right now. We have a lot of things happening in the world. Federal government shutdown is also on our minds. But that being said, we are looking forward to being together in community. I'm going to mute anybody. If you could just, until we get done talking here, if you could just put yourselves on mute until we get to the question and answer. But Aquan, I wanted to just introduce you as our, from Experience Montgomery and our local representative of a great city.
For that, Xenia. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aquan Robinson. I am Director of Sales with Experience Montgomery, which is our Convention and Visitors Bureau. I've gotten to know Zingy and the team really, really well over the past 2 years. Actually, it might be more than 2 years, really, but we've all
Yeah.
become friends at this point. And so, here and the team that the local arrangements team have done a great job of organizing some wonderful events for you all to get a chance to experience our wonderful city. Thank you again for the kind words too in the beginning. It's definitely been a rough weekend for us here locally, but we're looking to bounce back and really highlight the best of the city, right? So I'm here to answer any questions for you that you might have, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody once they come in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Aquan. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and just talk a lot. If you have questions, put them in the chat and we'll get to them in Q&A or even as we go. This is a pretty informal event. If you have to drop off early, we are recording this, so there will be it'll be available to you after the session as well. So, okay. The sharing of the screen part is always the hardest thing to do. All right. So in terms of pre-conference, we're about 2 weeks out, and there's are some things that you can be doing now to get ready. SEMC uses a platform called FeedLoop for sharing conference information. You may go to other conferences and there's different apps. We've been using FeedLoop now since 2020, actually. So this is an app that you can download, Android, Apple Store, whatever type of device you're using. It's called FeedLoop Go. I believe that everyone who is registered for the conference will have access to this app by the end of the week. And what you're going to be able to see once you have the app is the SEMC 2025 platform. It will eventually populate with a list of attendees, all of the sessions, all of the different events. You can personalize your schedule from FeedLoop. That's one thing that we get questions about a lot because you can see the full conference schedule right now. There's links all over SEMC's website under the conference tab, but you can't choose the sessions you're going to go to and kind of personalize your schedule from that link. Hopefully Heather or Carla can put just the general conference link in the chat right now, because the second thing I would encourage everybody to do is to review the conference schedule so you can see what is happening when. Oops, sorry, not quite ready to go back yet. And think about how you want to spend your time. One of the things this year, there will be a printed program when you arrive in Montgomery and get your registration bag and swag. There's a great printed program, but the speakers for the sessions are not going to be in the printed program. They will be, though, on the conference app or through the website. So if you're looking for a session by a particular, someone is speaking, you can search for those speakers either through the website or on the conference app from FeedLoop Go once you have access to that. Another thing that you can be doing right now is sharing conference graphics. So I think that everybody should have gotten an email with different conference graphics attached, but for instance, this I'm attending, that's a great thing to put on your own social media feeds and just let other people know that you will be attending SEMC and connect pre-conference that way and see who else is coming. And it's just helpful. I love to see the social media graphics populate LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, whatever platforms you're using. So exhibitors also have the same types of graphics. We'll talk about the exhibitors later, but you begin to see a sense of who might be coming to SEMC. And it helps us out with marketing. So we appreciate everybody sharing social media graphics as you can. Another thing that you can do is learn more about Montgomery. I am going to click on this link here for the moment, but Azakwan, who you just met, he and his team have created this great website specifically for the conference. And the link to this is on SEMC's website, or I'm sure it's being put in the chat as well. I can't see the chat right now, but it gives you a history of Montgomery. It tells you a little bit more about getting around downtown. They have put together very specific lists about different restaurants, places to go, what different neighborhoods are like. This is a really comprehensive look at what Montgomery is. So if you have some time to take a look at this website, it's a really good resource. Let's see, how do I go back? There we go. All right, so I think that got me through arriving in Montgomery. Many of you will be driving. Whoever is flying, you will be flying to the Montgomery Regional Airport. I would encourage you to look at the website, the airport's website, and getting from the airport to the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel, which is the main conference center. It's about a 20-minute drive, I think. Uber and Lyft are readily available from other people who have flown in. Ubers and Lyfts are usually between $20 and $40. It kind of depends on when you're arriving. We all know about surge pricing, so keep an eye on that. There are cabs there as well, and those look to be about $20-ish to get from the airport to the Renaissance. Something else that is interesting is the public transit in Montgomery now has something called the M microtransit. And so this is a ride share through public transit. I encourage you to just take a look at what this is. One of the things, they're not open, they don't run on Sundays. So for people arriving at the conference on Sunday, that's not going to work. But the rides are only $1.50, and it's kind of like a public transit Uber is the way that I understand it, but it's just yet another option for getting around Montgomery. For those of you who are driving, from everything I've seen, the self-park rate for SEMC is $22 a day at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel. That seems to be the best option for parking in terms of the cost. Usually we scope around to other parking lots that are close to the hotel, and I really didn't find many better rates. So also, it would be great to have your car close to the hotel. You can just walk right in and have access. So I would encourage self-park at the Renaissance if you're driving in. I just wanted to say a little bit about food at the Renaissance. This is a large hotel and conference center. It has all the amenities that you might imagine. It's right in the heart of downtown. It's a beautiful hotel. The staff are very welcoming. The conference spaces are lovely. So in terms of, people are always like, well, what kind of restaurants? And we'll talk more about food later. Obviously, room service, they do. I never get room service, but it is available to people who might have some travel funds to do that. There are two restaurants on site at the Renaissance. There's the House, which is the main restaurant, and it's open from 6:30 to 10. So breakfast is unfortunately not included with the hotel rate, but it is available at the House in the morning. One thing that's a little bit different about this breakfast option, for those of you who were with us last year in Baton Rouge at the Hilton, you had to pay like, I don't know, $20 or something for like a full breakfast buffet, whether you wanted it or not. You don't have to do that at this restaurant. You can get a bagel and a cup of coffee and be on your way. So it just sort of depends on what you need. We will be having light breakfast bites as well for attendees in the expo hall for SEMC. So there will be multiple options in the morning. The other restaurant that's there, it's the restaurant slash bar. It's called The Exchange, and it's a classic hotel bar. It's open from 4:30 to 11 every day, and that's including Sundays. So if you want to get a beverage, they do also have light bites. And when we were all there at mid-year, people ate at The Exchange as well. So these are two options that are right on site for food. And I don't know if Heather put it in the chat, but we are working on a restaurant list of all of the restaurants that are very near the hotel and their open hours. So that will be available to everybody coming. And there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of great dining options very close to the Renaissance. So I encourage you to get out and about in Montgomery. I think I was going to turn this part over to Carla and Heather.
Yeah, so I will talk a little bit about the Wi-Fi. So we do have complimentary Wi-Fi that is available at the hotel. Just stop by the registration desk for the login information and the password, and we'll probably have that available just so that you can stop by and take a screenshot of it. Let's see, registration. So registration, for those of you that have been to the conference before, you know that registration is the hub of the conference. Like you can come to registration if you have any questions. We are there to support you. And registration is also where you will be picking up your name badge. You will be picking up your tote bag. We always get such a great team of volunteers that help us at registration. And so when you come to registration, you'll be greeted by our wonderful SEMC volunteers, and they will help to answer questions. Other things that you can pick up at registration, we will have the conference ribbons. We'll have some of the fun ribbons again this year. I'm going to kind of turn it over to Heather. She's going to talk a little bit more about what types of QR codes we have. If you lose your badge, you can also come to registration. We really encourage you to keep track of your badge. It's not an easy process for us to print the badges. And if you do need a replacement badge, you won't get it right away. You will have to wait until either the end of the day or the next morning. So just try to keep track of your badge, but we can
Don't get
replace
it
it.
dirty.
If things happen. Yeah.
Don't ruin it. So, like Carla was saying, this is going to be your hub for all the information that you need. We'll be open on Sunday from 1 to 4:30, and then 8:30 to 4:30 on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we'll be open 8:30 to noon. So visit us for all your questions. We have the answers you need. In addition, we will have, the set. If you're used to SEMC, we have like that information area, and you can scan QR codes that takes you to the restaurant list I shared. It will give you the attendee list. There's just all the information you need. We definitely have it. And we will let you know like important things that you can do that day. So just visit the registration area often and get all the latest details and information that you need. So it'll be a place where you can find directions and all of the things. So visit us often at the registration area. So moving on to transportation, we will be providing transportation for most of the evening events and offsite tours. We will have a transportation schedule again at registration. So if you need to confirm, we will have that at registration. You can also see it in the printed program and in the Feed Loop app. All of the descriptions will have whether or not transportation is provided. So I encourage you to look at that and find out more. So if you are going on an offsite tour or for the evening events, the buses will load and unload at the main entrance of the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel. So for the evening events, the first bus will depart about 30 minutes prior to the start of the event. And then those buses will make regular intervals between the event site and the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel. So if you're ready to leave after a certain point, you will most likely be able to catch a bus without waiting very long. So they'll make just regular loops, and you can leave a little later, come back when you want. So those buses will be available, and you can get on those at the entrance of the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel. So Carly, do you want to take lunches?
Sure. So we have, let's see, one, two, three, four luncheons. Am I correct? And you do need a ticket to get into each one of the luncheons. So we do have, if you registered and you decide at, the last minute or today that you wanted to attend one of the luncheons, you can visit our website, and we do have a link where you can add additional events to your registration. But it's very, very important that if you do want to go to a luncheon, purchase a ticket, because we will not be selling tickets on site for luncheons. As you can imagine, we have to make sure that we tell the hotel how many people are going to be at our luncheons. And so there's a cutoff when we need to let them know how many they need to prepare for. If you have dietary needs, I'm sure that there's a place for you to indicate that on your registration. And so when you go to your luncheon, there will be a volunteer checking everyone in, and we will have your name kind of flagged to say that you need a special lunch. And so you'll be receiving a card that you can give to the server so that you can have a vegan lunch, or whatever the alternate luncheon will be. So again, just really important. We are not selling tickets for the luncheons the day of. So if you did not sign up for a luncheon with your registration, please visit our website and click on the link where you can purchase additional tickets.
Yeah, and be mindful that we do have that restaurant list. So, I know not everyone attends the luncheon. So we have plenty of options listed in that list of restaurants. So you can look and see what's nearby and easily walk to a spot for lunch. So there's plenty around. For the expo hall, it will be taking place on the first floor in the pre-function area near conference registration. As Zinnia mentioned, there will be a light breakfast available on both Monday and Tuesday. And it's just a really good place to hang out. The expo hall will feature 56 exhibitors offering a wide range of services. Go get the candy. They offer swag and things like that. So be sure to visit all of the vendors. It will open at 8 a.m. on Monday, and the same for Tuesday. So it'll run from 8 to 5:30. So we will have an opening reception on Monday from 4 to 5:30. So go have a drink. There will be bars. We'll handing out drink tickets for those. So the closing reception will take place from 4 to 5:30 on Tuesday. So something we wanted to mention that's new this year to the Expo Hall is the Passport Challenge. So at registration, when you check in, you'll be handed a card. It's sort of a bingo style card, if you will, and it will feature a series of vendors. So go to those vendors on your card, collect a stamp, hear about their services. They'll stamp your card, and when you complete it, you can turn it in at conference registration for the chance to win a prize. So we will be doing a drawing at the closing reception at 4:30. So you must be present to win. So we want you to visit the expo hall, participate in the challenge, and you might just win a really cool prize. So take advantage of that. Now, quickly moving on to the evening events, we've talked a little bit about some of those, and we'll talk more. But always be sure to, again, check the printed program, check FeedLoop. FeedLoop will have more in-depth details about menu options and things like that. But just a quick breakdown of what we will be doing. Sunday, we will be visiting the Harriet 2 Riverboat and Riverfront Park, which is a simple one-block walk down to the riverfront. And so we will walk as a group. You can come and go as you please, but make sure you get back for table talk happening at 8:30 p.m. So you want to make sure that you get back for that. So it'll be a great time. There'll be food trucks there where you can purchase food and drinks. We have a detailed list of what food trucks will be available in FeedLoop with clickable links, so you can sort of check it out ahead of time and see what you might want to eat that night. On Monday, we will be at the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts for a fantastic reception. And then on Tuesday, we will be at the Alabama Department of Archives and History. So we'll be able to take a look at Alabama history that night. So again, check Feedloop for all the more detailed descriptions. Feel free to continue on after these evening events and enjoy everything that Montgomery has to offer. We're really excited about the city and what we'll be able to experience. So be sure to get out and experience things as well. Is there anything else?
No, I think you guys covered it. I just wanted to um, just reiterate, every attendee, when you come to registration, you will get 2 drink tickets. And those drink tickets are only for the expo receptions. So within the hotel. The evening events are graciously put on by our local museums and partners for SEMC in Montgomery. And so they have planned and funded these events for us. And we just please take advantage of visiting their sites, shopping in their museum stores, and really supporting these museums that have supported SEMC as a partner throughout. And that includes the city, Aquan. So thank
Yeah,
you for that.
I just wanted to chime in real quick too. Throughout, we will have staff on site with a table to answer any questions that you might have as well. And we'll have, some destination guides and other things that kind of help guide you around the community. We'll be updating that site that we have as well. We've got a few new restaurants that have opened up as well. I was looking at the spreadsheet. We've got one particular that just opened up about 2 or 3 weeks ago that we're going to add. So again, we'll have staff there to answer any questions that you might have for the opening reception at the riverfront. We're excited for that. Our Department of Cultural Affairs has done a great job with that. So again, it's a block right of the Renaissance front door down the tunnel to the riverfront. And it is a SEMC only event. So you'll have to show your badge and everything to get in. We'll be kind of doing check-in, going through there. We'll have staff guiding people down to that area as well. So we're super excited about that. Food trucks, DJs, all the things. So it'll be a pretty fun event.
Thanks, Aquan. Is that new restaurant slash bar? Is that Ricky's?
No,
Ricky?
so not Ricky's. Ricky's, yeah, that is new. So that was a bar that just opened up, and it's the same people that own Hilltop. I know when there was a group here that was earlier, they went to Hilltop. So Ricky, it's maybe about 3 blocks from the Renaissance, and then
Okay.
there's Eugene's Hot Chicken. It's out so that's the restaurant I was referring to. It's on the Bibb Street side. So if you walk out the exhibit hall, it's right across the street on the back side. So a couple of new offerings in the area as well for people to experience.
And I don't know if we were going to talk, thank you, Aquan. I'm not sure if we were going to talk about this later, but I'll just say it now because it's on my mind. For people that don't necessarily want to spend their post-evening out at bars, whatnot, SEMC will have sort of a game zone in the hotel. We're going to have one of the session rooms that'll be open until about 10 p.m. with all different kinds of, if you want to play cards or Jenga or just hang out and network differently. We really are intentional about making space this year for however people want to socialize. So we're pretty excited about that. And I'm pretty good at Jenga too, by the way. All right, I just wanted to show, and I know this is probably hard to see, and let me see if I can get this little, my little turn on the pen thing. So this is the main entrance of the Renaissance right here. And then registration will be sort of right here. So as soon as you walk into the front door, if you're staying at the Renaissance, you'll get your hotel room. But then if you make a right that's where registration will be. We are on 2 floors this year. It is a large hotel. We have multiple pop-up signs. I continue to buy more and more and more. So we're going to make sure that there's wayfinding everywhere. I'm at a conference right now in Cherokee, North Carolina, and there's 1,000 people here, and it's a lot going on, and those wayfinding signs are really important to just see a conference presence. But walk in, go to the right. This Alabama ballroom area, we will have sessions and luncheons and things there. And then this all the way to the right and down the hall. And I'm sorry, this is terrible, but this is where the expo hall will be in this sort of like pre-function center. So those are the things that are on the first floor: registration, some of the bigger session spaces, and then the expo hall. On the second floor, which is right up the stairs and actually overlooks the expo hall, these are all the session rooms up here on the second floor. So it's kind of hard to figure in seeing a map like this, but I just wanted everybody to know we are on 2 floors. It's not massively confusing. There's not a 20-mile walk between the hotel and the session spaces, as some of you may remember from years past when we do a hotel convention center in the same space. So we're going to try and make it easy. We'll have volunteers all over the place. And if you ever get super confused, just go back to registration and say, I have no idea where I am. Please point me in the right direction. And I will tell you I did that this morning. And the registration team was amazing because not only was I late, but I was lost. All right. So sessions, I'm going to turn this one over to Heather.
All right. So for the 2025 session rooms, it's going to be as you expect. Everything that you need for presenting. You'll have the only thing that we would suggest if you're presenting is a way to access your PowerPoint. We do have the option. The Hutchinson design team has given us a Dropbox link, which has been sent to session presenters. So if you'd like to preload your session PowerPoint so it's ready for you when you enter the room, that Dropbox is available for you. So you could use that. There will be a session shepherd that will help you to wayfind and things like that. So as usual, you'll have the head table, the laptop projector screen, water stations. The only other thing we would suggest is bring something for note taking, which we have provided for you this year. In your conference tote, there will be a little booklet that you can use to take notes if you are like me and tend to forget to bring something to write on. So we will have that available to you as a little goodie. For Zoom speakers, obviously we will do our very best for sound amplification. We try our very best to make sure it's a good experience for both the attendees' viewpoint and for the Zoom speaker. So we have tried really hard to work with them about bringing extra speakers and things like that. We talked a little bit about the session rooms. They are broken up between the first and second floor on that western end of the complex. We have 3 rooms that we talked about downstairs: the Alabama C, D, and E, right off the expo hall. And we have an additional 5 rooms upstairs: the Montgomery 1, 5, and 7, and the Riverview 6 and 7. Again, all of this will be given to you in the Feedloop app and on the printed program. They're easily accessible, again, by that staircase off the expo, and there's plenty of elevators around as well. Workshops will be held on the second floor, Montgomery 1, and we have those set with rectangular tables to help with activities. Otherwise, you'll see your general theater style setup, and some rooms will be set with rounds for the more interactive sessions. So the QR codes will be available again this year. We're completely paperless again. We will be providing those codes to you. The session shepherds will have the code, and we've also encouraged our session presenters to put the code in their PowerPoint presentation, so it's just easily accessible for you to snap the link. And then again, it goes to a simple Google form and some really quick questions. We've made this as simple as possible so you can get through them. The codes will be available all throughout the conference. So if you perhaps need to move on and you want to come back and fill out a session evaluation, you most certainly can. But I would encourage you to do it. If you're like me, you'll forget. So if you can, as when you're in the session room, go ahead and just, when the presentation is over, fill out the code, because I can't stress the importance of these codes enough. We really, really go through each one individually. We provide feedback to the session presenters, and in return, it helps us be able to provide the programming and support that you need as museum professionals. So I can't stress how important it is for you to fill these out. We do use them for future planning, and I create a list of the session topics that people want to see for 2026. So it helps us when we release the call for proposals. So again, just please, 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 in all cases, fill out that session evaluation. So, and it's via QR code as usual, and you'll have access throughout the conference. For most session rooms, we have a mix of larger and smaller rooms. Most we're making every effort we can for the amplification. Some will have microphones, some perhaps won't. But we have communicated with our session panelists to again make sure that they're using the microphone and using it properly, so everyone will be able to hear. So again, we're making every effort we can to ensure that you will be able to hear. Just a few other things to note. We will have a tech team on site. So if you're presenting and you have some sort of issue with your tech, the wonderful Hutchinson design team will be on hand to assist with any technical difficulties as they sometimes arise. So they will be there. They'll have the conference t-shirt on. So session shepherds know that they can be on the lookout for a team member to help. So we will have tech on hand. And then be mindful that we do have a really packed session schedule this year. So, if you're coming in late or leaving out a little early to get to another session, just, be mindful of those around you. And if you do have like some sessions that are in the same session block and you really want to go into both, perhaps tag team. Have a colleague go into one, take good notes, you go into the other, and then at the end you can share notes. That's a good way to tag team and divide and conquer. And again, the sessions will have a session shepherd, so they can help, point you to a seat. They will help the presenters keep time or whatever presenters need, and they will point you to the session evaluations at the end of the session. So that's pretty much the sessions in a nutshell. Again, I can't stress the importance of filling out the session evaluations. And one other thing that I'll mention before we move on, the session rooms may or may not be hot, cold, somewhere in between. We just don't know. And it seems to change from year to year. So I do encourage you to dress in layers depending on, whatever the room is like. Some may be hot while others are cold. So just dress in layers. That's the best rule of thumb. And bring your business cards. So even if you bring a digital version or you make your own, please bring your business cards so you can, make networking connections. So, and this is a little bit of our session rooms here. One is ballroom for luncheons, I think. So that's what kind of what our luncheons and like the keynote and the business lunch or a business meeting, and then like the awards luncheon. The middle one is what one of the session rooms looks like in theater style, and then the top right is the expo hall. So the Alabama C, D, and E are going to be just to the left side of that picture. And so when you're coming out of sessions, you are essentially right there in the expo hall, and you can interact with the vendors there. And then the bottom picture is the Renaissance Montgomery's main check-in area. So it's going to be a great time. Lovely hotel.
Thank you, Heather.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to keep rolling through here. I just wanted to note a few I mean, I'll call them special sessions. All the sessions are special, but just a couple to put on your radar, especially if you're new to SEMC and you may not have been before. First of all, we have our table talk session. This is on Sunday, so it's technically pre-conference, but it's in the evening. It's from 8:30 to 10. This session will be at the Renaissance on the second floor in an area called the Starlight Foyer. And again, we'll point you, but Table Talk will be on the second floor from 8:30 to 10. This is this is a space to come talk. There are a lot of things happening in our field right now. There's a lot of pressure points that I think everybody is feeling. And Table Talk is an opportunity, and it will be more of a facilitated conversation this year. Those who may have been in the past, it's a little bit of a talk out, talk back. This will be more in line of let's get to the heart of what's happening right now in our field. And so I would encourage you to come be open, be in community with your peers, or just come and listen. And there's always an entertainment value to it as well. But this is really, it's become something very special for the Southeastern Museums Conference. So don't miss Table Talk on Sunday night if you can. We will have some snacks there this year. We're not going to have a bar. You can get a drink from the bar at the Montgomery and come to this. I don't want to call it a session because it's really more of just an opportunity to be together, but it does have a structure to it. Our general session on Monday morning, y'all, you do not want to miss this. It's from 9 to 10. I know that that's early, but this is the opening of SEMC 2025, and we have a really amazing panel of speakers um, sort of representing the past, present, and the future of activism and grounding our attendees in Montgomery and its history, and sort of looking for some inspiration for our field in terms of um, future forward, right? That's the theme this year. So the general session will be in one of the large ballrooms. You can grab a coffee beforehand, come in, but please, if you're awake and ready, I would really highly encourage not to miss it this year. You can read about the speakers and the topic in the Feed Loop app and on the website. Those of you who are new to SEMC, immediately following the general session, so from 10 to 10:30 on Monday morning, there is a first timers, just, let's all gather as people who are new to SEMC. I will be leading this session along with Stacy Watson, who's at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. At least I'm keeping my fingers crossed that she will be with us. Stacy still remembers her first time at SEMC, and the two of us, I think, can convey pretty well the spirit of the conference. And we're there to answer questions and sort of build your network. Start building it there. That's where you want to, where you can make a friend, leave the first timer session with a friend. The business, so that's the beginning, and then we have 2 days of sessions and events, and then we get to the end. Wednesday morning is our keynote. Well, first of all, there's the business meeting. I mean, it's literally 20 minutes of, as an SEMC member, voting on new council members and hearing about our finances, as riveting as all of that is, but that takes 20 minutes. And I think it's important to understand where this organization is and where we plan to go. But then that will be followed by the keynote address. This year we have Professor Brian Fair, who has stepped in as the interim president and CEO of the Southern Poverty Law Center. And I met with him yesterday, and I'm just really excited to hear him speak to our membership. And then finally, the final event, and also at the business meeting keynote is where we will announce SEMC 2026. It's not a secret, but it's always fun to see where we're going next year. So stay till the end of that to get that. The final thing on Wednesday, it's the wrap up of the conference. It's our awards luncheon and then a roundtable discussion. So first, we will acknowledge all of the competition winners. You've probably may have started to see press releases and those that have won exhibition or publication or technology competitions through SEMC begin to make those announcements, but we also will celebrate and acknowledge those winners at the awards lunch, as well as our leadership awards. And those are still a secret for another week of who is receiving SEMC awards this year, but there are 5 individuals who will be honored with these very special peer-nominated awards. And then that will culminate in a roundtable discussion between myself and the 2025 award winners. And then conference will be over, and it goes by really, really quickly. So there is a cost to the awards luncheon, and you can still register if you are going to be with us Wednesday still, but all of these other events are free, and we hope that you will join us. Just a few other things. I'm looking at my time here. I'm going to run through. We do have gosh, last I looked, there's over 100 students who are registered no, that doesn't sound right. 100, no, more like 20, maybe 20 to 30 students who are registered, but still, we are really, SEMC wants to support our student populations, our next generation of emerging museum professionals. And one of the way we do this is we offer them this student work in museums, this opportunity to present about the work that they're doing through their various programs of study in museums. So they will have poster sessions. They'll likely be staged in the expo hall. You check your app, but I really encourage everybody to engage with the students, to ask them questions, and to let them know that this field, even though it might look a little challenging at the moment, like it's worth it. So please engage with the students. Those who won gold publication awards, we will have a table in the expo hall where you can see the best of the best in terms of invitations and annual reports. And it's always a nice place to get inspiration. I know I do in terms of future SEMC publications. I mentioned the game zone. Heather, do you want to talk real quick about the Career Hub?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Career Hub is something that will be new to SEMC this year, and it was sort of birthed from our program committee meeting this past March. So we were, talking about, the difficulties of the field and things that are going on, and we sort of thought, well, perhaps we should have a career hub, and this will be a dedicated space on Tuesday, October 21st. And there will be hours posted. You can find it in the program. But essentially, this will be a hub for you, whether you're an EMP or a mid-career person and you need advice. You need to ask hard questions. Well, we will have seasoned professionals at the Career Hub who can talk with you about whatever it is that's going on with your career and give you some sound advice on your next steps, or how you can think about salary negotiations, or perhaps you want your resume reviewed. Feel free to drop it off, go to a session, come back and have some really sound advice on how you should review your resume. So it's for you, and I mean it's a safe zone. You can ask questions, you can get advice. The first part of the day will be devoted to that more just general advice. I need help with this situation, or in your experience, how did you handle a move, or whatever it may be. And then the second part of the day after lunch, it will be devoted to sort of the question of higher education. And if that's for me, should I go on to a PhD, or should I go for a different certification? So we will have professionals there who have gone through the PhD process and beyond, and they can help you decide if higher education is something you need, or perhaps make you feel better about where you currently are. So this is, again, completely open to you. It's a safe place. Nothing will be shared. So go check it out if you have this sort of burning question you've been dealing with. So go check it out Tuesday, October 21st.
Thanks, Heather. And we'll have that table. It'll be near registration. And I made signage for it, so it's an official thing now. There also will be some individuals who are in consulting now who have maybe moved outside of a museum and are working museum adjacent. So um, visit the 5K. There's still time to sign up. I mean, it's not I mean, I do think they run 3 miles, but it's certainly not a race. If you are a runner, if you would like to be with a group of other runners and in the same vein support SEMC scholarships, please register for the 5K fun run. You get a t-shirt, and your registration fee for that goes into the scholarship fund to support individuals for next year's conference. If it's early though, it's at like 7:30, so it's but it's out there. There's always a group of them. All right, I'm motoring through here. There are a ton of offsite events this year. The Centennial Hill celebration is on Sunday afternoon. So if you are arriving Sunday morning, pick up your registration badge and head over to Centennial Hill. All of the details. These are a bunch of civil rights sites that they will have interpreters out, and it's kind of like a block party. It's all within the same block. So definitely check that out. The Legacy Museum and sites will be open to SEMC, obviously, on Sunday, the 19th, but then on Monday and Tuesday, these sites are usually closed to the public, but they will be open for SEMC attendees with your badge. There are the majority, actually the boat, I don't think will be running on Monday and Tuesday, but the other sites will be open. So if you want to step away from the Renaissance, to me, that's as much professional development as being in a session. So those opportunities are there. You can also sign up for the Civil Rights Museum tours. These are Tuesday and Wednesday, and it's kind of a hop on, hop off experience. There's 3 or 4 different museums. These are smaller museums, so maybe not able to host a reception with 300 plus attendees, but you can have this smaller experience with a group of people. So definitely check out those tours on the website. There's still time to register. We talked about the opening party at the riverfront. Aquan and team will be very visible and we'll walk everybody down. That's from 5 to 7 on Sunday. We'll be at Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts Monday evening, and then the Alabama Department of Archives and History on Tuesday evening. So we're really excited about those events and thankful to all those partners. We talked a little bit about the exhibit hall. I'm just going to race through this because I'm sure there's questions, but definitely stop in. They're open every day. I think we're actually up to 58 different companies that provide museum services who will be with us in Montgomery. You know what? They just want to talk to you. And I always stress this at the first timers event. Even if you're not in the market right now for a new collections management system, or if you're not the one who would make that decision, it's always great. All these industry partners, this is museum adjacent work. It could be of interest to your career. It could be something, a service that you hadn't even thought about that your museum might need. And think about it as gathering information to take back. They do a lot of these conferences and they're friendly and they want to interact with attendees. A lot of our corporate partners will also be at all of the events. They're not always just trying to sell you something. I mean, it's building relationships, and I would like everybody to go into the expo hall with that in mind. The receptions are really fun. If you're looking for food, those are the expo receptions are usually heavy hors d'oeuvres, and we're excited about that. So this is anyway, you don't need to, this is how the tables look currently in the expo hall. And you'll walk through and feel the energy, and it's exciting. And that's it. So amazingly, let's see, it's 11:56. I have not looked at the chat at all. So I'm hoping that Carla or Heather, if questions came up or whatever, just let me know.
actually didn't see any question. So one person did ask about the passport challenge in the expo hall, and so we will have the instructions on how to participate. But it's essentially you're going to get the card, you're going to collect the stamps, and then you're going to turn it in to Carla and I at the registration area, and then a drawing will happen at 4:30 on Tuesday during the closing reception, and you might win something really cool. So it's a fun way to be a part of the expo hall as well.
Anybody else? Anything we can answer in the moment? Quick, is there a
Okay, Caitlin is saying she's looking forward to being a first-time attendee. That's wonderful. Quick question: is there a Southeastern Museum member discount for registration?
yes? So the way that our registration worked up until August 15th, there was an early bird registration, which was only for members. And now, the price has increased slightly, but it's still less than being a non-member. So I think that registration cost is $475. And
For the
online
registration.
registration, yeah, closes Monday, the 13th. And the reason we do that is because this is your staff right here, the three of us behind this, of course, with our team partners, but we need that week prior to the conference to get everything organized and ready for you. So we're really encouraging online registration through the 13th. And then you can register at the conference if you are local to Montgomery and are coming in. We do have day rates. Um, but yeah. Anything else? I see a couple of our Montgomery people around. Sarah Graves, you want to say something inspirational?
No pressure.
She's probably not even listening to me. Um, okay. Well,
Being
oh,
Nick.
there you are.
Hi, everybody. We're excited to welcome you to Montgomery. Um, it's a great city. It's very walkable within downtown, and we've got a lot of really good food. And I'll be around in case you have any questions. I'll put my info in the chat in case anybody wants to email me.
Thanks, Sarah. I like to put you on the spot in Zoom meetings.
I'm doing my best.
Guys did great. I mean, really, we've been planning this with the local teams since 2023. So it takes about 2 years to get these conferences together, and we really want everybody to have an amazing time. We appreciate you choosing to come to this conference this year and to make it a priority in your travel and professional development. And really, thank you all.
I do just want to say one thing for people that this might be their first time coming. This is a great first conference to come to. And I don't know if it's because we're in the South and the Southern hospitality, but our members are so welcoming and our team is so welcoming. So I really don't want anyone, if you're coming by yourself and you're representing your institution, to feel like you're going to be alone because people will say hi to you, people will welcome you, people will say, "Hey, do you want to go to lunch? Do you have somebody to eat dinner with?" Whatever. So just come to the conference knowing that you're not going to be alone and you're going to have support and you're going to make connections, you're going to make friends because we're a friendly bunch.
Thanks, Carla. Aquan, any final inspiration?
No, you all have done such a wonderful job conveying what I wanted to say that I didn't have to say much. So that just lets us know that, we've worked well over the past couple years to really curate this. We're super excited as a community to host this. The first time that we've had it, we've always had local partners that attended. So, kind of when I made the first few inquiries with our museum partners, everybody was like, "Yep, we're ready." So again, we're super excited to host. I think you said something that makes a whole lot of sense. Montgomery's a great place to really host this too, considering kind of all the challenges that we're dealing with, particularly in the field of museum world and history pieces. And so it's great to be able to host an event like this and kind of ground ourselves back into the work in a place that has been so monumental for a lot of different reasons. So again, we're looking forward to hosting everybody and welcome them to our community.
Thank you, Aquan. I think that's a great place to end. Appreciate everybody coming, and we'll see you. What's today? The 8th, 7th? I don't know what. I don't know. 12 days now? Can't do the math. But we will look forward to welcoming you to Montgomery. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.